and then we tried to skip out of there quick so that our body doubles. Or did we? That's what we were planning on doing.
Yeah, we tried to sneak out. We snuck out. We took a tree.
Yeah, you were trying to fake your death, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
We took a cab
to Zeals? Did we go back to Zeals for the resurrection?
Nah, dog.
I'm sorry.
No, Bartleby's house.
Bartleby's, yeah, that's right.
Basement.
Where we did a what's the word? Reincarnation on Alan Greenspan.
Yep.
And he turned into a Warforged.
Okay, we did decide he was going to do Warforged. That's awesome. So I think the first role that we had was a halfling.
Right.
So, I don't think we got any farther past that at all, did we? You guys were also talking about going to, or Chris was talking about going to the library.
Right.
Because you were talking about
University.
like going to follow Quesnev wherever he is, like right then and there. But then you realized you have no idea where he is.
Right.
I gotta find him.
Yep.
So Chris was talking about going to the library. You guys, the reincarnation ritual. Alan Greenspan, you guys are currently in the bottom Batcave portion of Mr. Bartleby's estate. Yeah, what does Robo Alan look like?
We decided he's a conglomeration of components from the room, kind of. So he's the same, I don't know, shiny metal as a bunch of the dashboard down in that basement. And he's partly glass, like you can see into parts of him. Didn't we talk about a mustache of gold? Oh, that was Dave right before we left.
You got gold mustache,
yeah.
that reticulates, and like,
I don't know about
while
that.
he talks.
I kind of want, because I took forever to get that tattoo of the calculator. I kind of want it to be a real calculator.
Yeah. Like the tattoo is still there and there's etching in it. It's just like a real calculator. It's like stuck on the arm.
Fully functional.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty radical. Yeah. So the little lights behind your eyes go on. Everybody's looking at you in horror.
Terrence very cautiously approaches, looks at the arm and types in 58005.
Hilarious.
Dang, man.
Is that really you, Alan?
It is me. I am awake.
You sound like a Dalek.
Is this a new character voice?
You get what you get.
Get what is given.
Dang, man.
Did we win?
Yeah,
Yeah, we won.
It wasn't all for nothing.
No, it actually turned out pretty okay.
Did you
Considering-
rescue my equipment?
I did. I have it all here.
I am no longer able to wear the dragon armor.
Oh shit. Does anybody else want this? Immune to poison.
That's pretty good.
Barbolina might be able to use it.
I got this sneak armor. No, that's not true. I got fire resistant armor.
The contract is still in place.
It is.
We
So
must terminate the contract.
Yeah, we gotta go to hell. So that's the plan. We're looking for libraries now. That's the next stop.
Is the contract binding on death?
He ain't dead no more.
Yeah, but he died.
Yeah, but now he's not dead.
But he was dead.
I bet he'd be Quesnef's if he died.
Need to consult the contract.
Anywho,
Oh, I think the contract's for the eternal soul. So I don't think it has to do with anything, like, it's not invalidated once you're, like, a soul. You know what I mean? And you've died before, and, like, you don't feel the contract's lifted or anything.
Oh, well, meaning Quesnef has died, I thought.
Quesnef, yeah, but he gonna come back. We gotta like finish him off still.
Yeah, I imagine we still have to.
I think there's specific wording in there that has to do with, like, crossing over planes doesn't nullify the contract or something like that. Oh, Hawkwood, did he leave to go try to find Lucan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we split up
That's right.
after the battle.
And what did you do with
Matthias.
Python Indigo and Piss Wiggling? Did you convince them to help Hawkwood? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, we told him to go find Lucan.
To go with him?
Yeah, he was gonna look. He was gonna try to work with them. I don't know if he had made contact with them or not, but we rolled pretty high in a persuasion check with that Python dude at some point. I just don't remember what for.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was to like surrender to the vampires or whatever, or agree.
Oh, right.
Agree to
to
be
give
cool
over,
with the vampires.
to give over what's his face, Lord Helford.
Right.
He took the money.
He did. Yeah. So what now?
Where you wanna go, T? Is reading time.
Darius needs to contact people he knows at from Morgrave.
Okay. Were you trying to I feel like last time you were going to try to contact the divination head.
Is that the same one that was in the catacombs with us?
Yeah, when the books were starting to melt. It was a trap.
Yeah.
I cannot remember her name. God. But she pretty much looked like Professor Tawny, what's her face from Harry Potter, right? The divination teacher. She was older, maybe with brown glasses.
Yeah, she's pretty nerdy.
I remember a nice old lady.
Yeah, she was older. I think she had white hair. Yeah, you gonna try to shoot her a message?
Yes.
Okay. What does it say?
I'll say, another dire emergency. I need your aid to track a demon in the depths of hell.
There's a little bit of a wait, and you get a response back saying, oh my, that's particularly intricate. What? How can I help?
Do you know of anything in the library that could point us in the right direction?
There might be something in the library, but ever since the accident, they've been working on the structural reinforcement and realignment of that part of the tower. I'm afraid the library is just a pile of spilled books at this point. There's like scribes trying to clean it up, but like they are in the middle of trying to reshelve and find places for each one of the books, or keep account for all the books, then wait for the tower to be re-straightened and then put all the books back.
Wait, the Great Library in not Trollenport. What's the other city?
Zolanport.
Oh, Zolenberg?
No.
Korenberg.
Korenberg.
Korenberg. Yeah, the Great Library in Korenberg is burned. Is there any other place that I might find this information?
There's a pause. I don't know. I mean, I have a small collection of books at my place, but I'm afraid demons and devils and all of that's not really my area of expertise. I don't think I own anything on that. You could try. You could try maybe asking around if you have some powerful friends that have some big libraries. The personal ones, you might want to ask them, but I genuinely don't know how to help.
Do you have any extremely interesting books?
I mean, I have some interesting books on divination theory and like fate. The divination actually allows us to like look into the future, or we're just seeing what's possible and all the timeline stuff. But that's really all I have.
Hey, what if we ask Usador? Would he know some shit? Maybe.
I think we need to visit the Golden Dragon. We just need to have
Oh
something
yeah.
extraordinarily valuable to offer.
Oh yeah, we gotta have something. Like Quincy. Does he care about treasure, or is it like he wants interesting things? Like
You're giving him books that
yeah.
he was like super into.
Did we gave the book the book is being kept by that what's the guy's name that was with us for the whole dragon volcano episode?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Heinrich?
And
Enric.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should probably track down Enric and then go see the dragon.
Yeah.
Heinrich is currently at the villa.
Where?
At the villa?
Where's that?
It's our estate.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to have something to offer him in return. Alright, I'm gonna message the
Or
professor
maybe
again.
he'll
I
just.
think I know where to look. Golden Dragon must bring an offering of literature of great importance.
She goes, well, I'm afraid I don't really have anything I could offer to help. Most of what I have are just textbooks. Good luck, I guess. You lead a much more interesting life than mine, unfortunately.
Alright. I mean, we've got some good books. Just gotta leaf through and see what it is. We pocketed a whole bunch of books in that library.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Hey, Quincy, what's our book collection looking like?
Rignorg. That was the name of the dragon.
my notes.
I'm
There we
reading.
go.
I'm reading this devil contract, and it seems like it's hard to parse, but it seems like the effects last for eternity. But like the main thing is my soul is forfeit to the signer, and if we eliminate the signer, what does that even mean?
I would think your soul would no longer be forfeit to it, since it doesn't exist.
Because it's nothing about like the signer or any other archdevil or devil, right? It doesn't say anything about the signer's predecessor.
Mm,
Or not predecessor, it's the signer's next in line.
not that I see. Under control and dominance of the scribe for all eternity.
I've got Regog, name of the dragon.
It's Rignorg, Rignorg.
Rignor's Lothbrok.
Rignog. I must just not pronounce it. Also, I can't read, so
Okay. Oh, all right. I'm gonna do one more message to. This is gonna be to. Who's our ghostwriter?
You sold the vampire story too?
Yeah,
Oh, Taliba?
Taliba. Yeah, I'm gonna message Taliba and tell her that we need that, or I'm just gonna ask her, have you finished any books that you're proud of recently?
I'm still currently working on the kind of second installation of what you guys told me after Lucan. Haven't finished that yet, unfortunately.
Any works of fiction that you've written prior to this current project?
Actually, no. This was kind of my first jump into it.
I'm looking for a talented, unknown, or not well known, not unrecognized author of fiction. Do you know anyone?
I genuinely don't. I have like the publishing company and stuff that I went through to publish that first book. I'm sure they probably have access to some other people. I can ask around if you want. If you just want a talented but unrecognizable fiction writer.
I need a great work of fiction that has not yet been discovered or recognized.
I guess I'll keep an ear out. I'll ask the agency.
Okay, thank you.
You want me to go through all our books?
Yeah, I've got that we have a book called Vecna's Will.
Yeah.
We have the Mad King Biblios' journal. We have an Oak Codex.
Oak Codex.
And then we have some magical instruction texts.
Yeah, I've got one called On Celestial Wings. That's all I know about it.
I believe On Celestial Wings was the book that you opened and flooded the room.
Okay.
I believe so.
On celestial wings.
Yeah.
Only the two of us.
We've got this huge 4-foot size book called The Tales of Moradin. He was the god of dwarves. We've got, Publius's book.
You also have the Manual of the Senses as well.
Yeah. That too.
Oh, sorry. No, On Celestial Wings isn't the water book.
Okay.
So we do have some.
We have a signed copy.
interesting-
We have a signed copy of the D&D starter set 5th edition.
Alright, I mean that might be enough to work with. Yeah, we should go to Rignord library and see if he will allow us to search through his records on demons.
We also got to find out what some of these items are, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we have Quesnest stuff.
Want to identify that?
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and identify Quesnest gear.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
Where did I write it down?
We got that ring with the 7-pointed ruby.
Okay, yeah, wide bound ring, 7-pointed ruby.
Okay.
Wide by
You,
ring
you
with
do a
the
Arcana check
7-pointed
to cast Identify.
I'll just ritual cast identify.
Okay. You ritual cast Identify on the ring. You know this ring is named the Gift of Ash. The gold set in it is extremely old, and if looked closely, it's not just a 7-pointed ruby. It is a compressed and a compressed piece of earth from each of the 7 layers. 7 layers of earth? Each part of the ring is from a different piece of each of the layers of hell. It does require attunement to be able to use. When you wear this, you are immune to fire damage,
Shit.
and you can cast Immolation twice a day.
Damn.
Oh,
The damage of Immolation is doubled if the wearer is of a fiendish origin.
Holy hell.
is fiendish?
If the wearer is of fiendish origin.
Damn.
Which is why Alan Greenspan got fucking blasted away.
That with poison armor? I have so many attunement items.
This guide is asking me to add items for attunement, and all my stuff is not standard.
Right. You have to
You have to type it up and then add it to the home brewery and then add it to your character.
but once it's in there,
So
it's in there.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll worry about that later.
So does that fiendish origin mean race or something else?
It's really not super specific.
Too bad you didn't turn
So
it into a
if Carmelina is a patron of the Great Old One, and Ballstar is bound to the Great Old One through his eyes and a contract, does
Nope,
that
there's
count
no
as
contract.
fiendish origin?
No, the Great Old One's an outsider.
Okay.
Fiendish be devils.
Devils and demons and the like.
Alright. So if somebody was Emmerich could use it though, but he's
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Correct.
tiefling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if you're not of Phoenix origin, you can still use it. You can still get immolation. But...
The double damage, I mean.
Right.
Okay. That's pretty good. Let's do the orange and black silk sash.
Okay. This orange and black striped sash is made of an unbelievably soft silk. It smells like exotic perfume and exudes confidence. This isn't a attunement item. It sets your charisma score to 22,
Holy
and
shit.
the wearer is immune to charm effects.
Holy shit.
22. What does that mean?
Plus 6.
Oh.
Barbalina,
Yeah,
right?
that's Barbalina for sure.
Alright.
What is her charisma? 18?
I think it's 20.
20. Full plus to everything. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
The most important part is how she wears it. Because I imagine she wears a lot of like dark colors, and then there's just this fucking neon tiger stripe silk bandana.
Isn't she missing a finger or something?
What?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of thinking a head wrap, but
Head wrap's pretty rad.
what do y'all
Yeah.
think?
It's good.
She ties it Street Fighter style. Like Ryu.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was thinking like big, like African.
Oh, like a big African like honeycomb.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too.
Either
And then
way.
her nails get all long. She gets like the manicure, so it's like long red nails.
The Diablo 3 Necromancer. Alright, then we've got the Ancient Amulet. Depicts devils in a green sea, warm to the touch.
Yep. You cast Identify on this one as well?
Yep.
This is called the Mark of the Marquis. You still don't know anything about the sigil on one side or what the sigil, the two devils twisted around each other means. But you do know that this is magical. This requires no attunement. It allows you to cast Arcane Mark at will, but the caster knows the location of the marked object for up to a week, only one object at a time.
So it's like a tracker, short term.
Right, so Arcane Mark is like a unique mark that cannot be duplicated any other way, and you can make it visible or invisible.
So you know the location of the mark for a week?
For up to a week. Only one object at a time.
That's pretty cool.
There is no other specification on planes of existence or anything. It's
I was just
period.
gonna ask, what if we had like put it on Quesneff's butt cheek? We would just know where he is.
Yeah.
Yep. Seems that way.
Put it on Quesneff's butt cheek.
Is Arcane Mark in the normal?
Yeah, it's just a cantrip or first level spell, I think. But it's at will. There's no. Yeah, you can do as many times as you like. It's an interesting like utility spell.
Yeah. So I imagine we have to like, be in range of it to first cast it.
Correct. I think it's touch.
Alright, and then big finish here is big mirror finish silver scimitar.
Okay. This is polished to a mirror sheen. This scimitar will never be scratched or marred or have any sort of imperfection on the polish. It's a +1 silver weapon. That's it.
That's pretty cool. No attunement, right?
No attunement.
I'm proficient in scimitars.
Alright, those were the 4 drops.
I take. Nobody wants it.
Can I read like data from Star Trek?
I don't think so. I mean, you can always give me an intelligence check. How did your stats change, by the way? Did they change at all?
So all of my mental stats go down 1, but it wasn't enough to alter the modifier or whatever. Like I picked the envoy option, which let me put into dexterity and strength. So
Okay.
so that stuff didn't change.
Oh, that's easy. And you picked heavy plating, right?
No, I went with
Or medium?
Yeah.
composite plating, the medium one. So my AC actually went up.
Oh, that's funny. I do. The image I have in your mind is now that when you read contracts, though, you fold it and you put it into your square mouth, and, you just, and then it prints out in your belly, and then you remember the contract like word by word in perfect detail for the rest of your existence.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
now
good.
Greenspan. I remember everything I eat. Okay, boys, you're in an impasse.
To Heinrich.
Whoa, what do we need Enric for?
We're gonna try to get in his book and talk to the dragon.
You're trying to give him a book?
Nah, we're trying to get in his book. He got the book that has the
That's
the
right.
gold dragon in it. So, shit. We
Fly
want
to
to go
the villa.
to the villa, right?
Fly to the villa.
Fly to the villa. Yeah, we got the airship here, don't we?
Fly to the villa.
So
Can't we just
if
go
I
for it?
remember, did you just dock it or did you pack up the thing?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't know if we even teleported there.
No, you definitely flew the Fang here because we were talking about whether you're going to
Yeah.
go through the whole process of like hiding it like last time.
It's definitely here. But isn't there a teleportation circle at Belgard?
There is, but you'd be leaving the airship in Sharn.
Yeah, so we could just teleport back here to get it.
I could take a tree back here. Yeah.
I think we should just teleport.
You want to teleport? That makes sense.
Faster. We don't have to go through the whole process of getting our airship out.
What does it cost us to teleport?
Just
So we have a teleportation circle
Someone
at
takes a spell.
our estate, so I can just do that for a spell slot.
Yeah. I kind
So,
of.
so you know, you can use the trees to get around with Ballstar, and then I can wherever there's an actual teleportation circle, I can do it.
Time may be critical. We should teleport.
I agree.
Okay. Are we ready to go?
Is there nothing else we need to
Did
do?
you guys rest? You guys are fully rested.
I think we took a short rest. Or no.
No.
Oh, you guys haven't done a full 8 hours yet.
No.
No, we've been booking it.
Yeah.
So all we took was the hour to reincarnate.
Yeah, and I don't think that takes him all the way up to full. I think that just puts him at like 0 hit dice and 1 hit point.
Yeah.
And let's see. Well, so you said we leveled up, so that gives me exactly enough spell slots to cast the spell or to do the teleportation circle.
Ash wants to say goodnight real quick.
Good night, Ash.
It's blurry.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's internet.
Modern technology.
How about this? Is this blurry?
Kinda.
It's actually more in focus.
Hey Ash, guess what?
What?
I'm gonna come to see you tomorrow.
Wait, so I thought you're coming, so you're gonna be at the airport at like 9?
React arrival time?
Or later.
Yep, we're gonna fly from Texas up to the airport, and we'll be there at 9.
Wow, that's gotta be what, you have an early flight?
It's direct, thankfully, so it's 5 here, and then
Oh,
we
sorry.
gain an hour, about a 3-hour flight.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Hey, buddy. Go brush your teeth.
You want to throw this in the toilet?
Take this
See you
with you.
tomorrow.
Take the ice with you.
Throw it in the toilet.
No, just don't leave it
Or
there.
sink.
Throw it for real. Throw it in the toilet.
Toilet or sink, your choice. Good night.
Oh, also, just say, is it your birthday tomorrow?
No, it was the 25th, a couple days ago.
Oh, it was? Well, happy
Yeah.
birthday. I didn't even know.
Thanks, dude.
What'd you do?
Had a lot of fun. Me and Michael and our friend Steve just kind of walked around Niagara Falls all day.
Did you get my thoughtful Steve Irwin gift?
I think so. I haven't really been on Facebook too much. Why? But I was wondering, why is it Steve Irwin?
It's a dope gift.
Okay. Yeah, it was chill. It was good.
It sounds awesome.
It was.
Sorry, what were we doing? I completely lost my train of thought.
So,
We were doing something. Oh, talking about resting.
oh yeah, so they reincarnated me, and then I just sat idle for like 6 hours. I thought.
Yeah, this fool's exhausted. So how long is the flight from Sharn to the villa?
Too long.
Flight-wise, you're looking at like a day or day and a half going full speed, which would burn up the fuel that you currently have left in that tank. You still have a couple extra tanks because remember Greasefire was trying to arrange fuel and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could teleport. We could rest at the house, you know?
Yep.
Zanon's gonna be feeling like shit for a while.
I feel nothing.
There's nothing else we need to do here, right?
I don't think so, mate. Can't go to the library.
Have we contacted the house blah blah blah
Thorani?
Thorani? Yeah, have we contacted House Thorani to make sure that the cover up goes well?
I don't think so.
I don't believe you have contact with them, no.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
We should do that.
Well,
Also, they'd be able to fence all of the stuff that you pilfered from the mansion as well. Be able to turn it into some liquid assets instead of carrying around a whole bunch of candelabras and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe. Yeah. Nah, it's fine. I was still thinking Terrence should stop by the library, but it's probably not worth the time.
It's up to you. You do know, you do know that that tower is currently off limits to the public. Period.
Yeah,
That's all been evacuated. You're gonna have to sneak in there if you want to try to get in.
yeah. She did say that there's a bunch of librarians or whatever that are working on reorganizing it or
Yeah, trying to take accounts of all the different books and make sure they're all still there.
all right. Maybe you guys maybe go see Thorani and I will make a quick jaunt up to the campus.
Okay.
I need to preserve my large spell slot. Can you polymorph me, All-Star?
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem.
I need to be a fast bird.
He's a big eagle.
Alright.
Terrence the Eagle. All your dreams come true. Turning to an eagle, you caw off into the sunset.
How did you go to the Critical Role episode where they have like the Jester and Caleb both turn into eagles? They're like a white one and a red one, a red one and a blue eagle in this like snowy terrain, and then Travis is like, "We just need a red one."
What is that from?
Critical Role was like 3 episodes ago.
Oh man, I haven't watched any of season 2 like for like 8 months.
Wow.
I just kind of fell off the wagon.
It's excellent.
I liked it. It just for some reason it just didn't keep my attention. I should go back
It's-
because now I have like 40 episodes to watch, which is my favorite. I hated getting to the point where I was all caught up. I had to wait all week.
I'm almost there. Yeah.
I hated it. Like I liked if I had a whole day, I would just
Yeah,
like
like
buy
4
some
episodes.
Cheetos and take some kratom and drink some coffee and just watch like 3 episodes and it's 9 hours. Just
Perfect
from
day.
like morning to evening. It's so good. Anyway, yeah. All American Terrence. American Terrence has a really good mouth.
Yeah,
Say
it's
that say that loud. American Terrence.
American Terran.
Flies off in the sunset. What are you guys doing?
I alter self into Uncle Sam, and then I'm gonna try to usher the guys out of the tank room. You know how we're in that like aquatic tank area in the basement?
Oh yeah, right. You're like kind of in the Batcave part where there's the under part of that weird.
Yeah, I didn't have much luck last time, but I'm gonna try. I know we've been there for a long time, and I'm assuming whatever creature is in there has been watching us.
Yeah. What was it? Nancy?
Something like that.
Tracy. It was Tracy.
Tracy.
Yeah, because Nancy was the true name. Nancy,
Yeah.
Nancy Tenderbottom. Is that what it was?
Little Bottom.
Which one? What?
Nancy Little Bottom.
Nancy Tenderbottom. No, Tracy was the pet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to, I guess, cast Speak with Animals. I'm just gonna try to see if she'll talk to me.
Okay. You're kind of looking into the. I think it's dark. It's like twilight to dark at this point. If you remember, the whole east wing of Mr. Bartleby's like mansion is like a huge like garden area, where Mr. Bartleby pranced among the nature as a little kitty. One part of that is featured like a very large lake with like a waterfall and everything. You guys are currently underneath that waterfall, and you can see the tank. Up above, it looks like it's very crystal clear water. That's one of the reasons. Like it must be illusion or something, because you're not able to see whatever creature is down there. Because down here, when you're looking into the tank, it's pretty. It's not dirty. It's just murky.
Yeah.
Especially with like not a lot of light coming in from the greenhouse. There's a lot of little like filament things that are like floating in it almost. Did you see Tracy before? I know
No.
you talked to her once.
I've.
Or you
She's,
tried to talk.
she's been incredibly skittish. Never gotten
Yeah.
a good look at her. I don't think we've ever had a conversation.
Okay. What do you remember about Tracy?
Very little. Just like vaguely humanoidish form, size, kind of like mermaidish. I don't even remember.
I don't think it was humanoid. Because I think you may have saw it.
All I saw was like a
briefly.
silhouette,
I thought it was
basically.
like a jellyfish.
Yeah, maybe. Like yeah, you saw a silhouette of something moving quickly.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the Guardian, the little painting Guardian, the cat?
Yeah.
Well, you asked him about it. Do you remember what information he gave you?
I don't. I remember it's like very intelligent.
Yeah, he said that it's Mr. Bartleby used it as a tool. It is incredibly intelligent, and it seems to feed off life force, and that's one of the reasons Mr. Bartleby kept it around. And when you ask about or when you ask what life force means that it feeds off of, it changed the subject. Didn't quite tell you because I remember you actually trying to like feed it. You were trying to feed it your life force at one point, trying to like bait it out, right?
It sounds like something I do.
Like you were standing on the bridge and just kind of like trying to like do something, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're down in the tank right now. You cast Speak with Animals. What are you doing? It's just kind of like this inky, murky darkness.
I'm just gonna say sorry to bother you. I know you probably live in solitude. I just wanted to know we're friends of Mr. Bartleby, and we're kind of the last of their organization. I'm assuming you're friends with him. I just was wondering if maybe we could help each other.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's not me. Stinker. 6.
Yeah. All you get is cold, murky silence. As you're sitting there talking to the tank, you notice there's one. There's a couple of paintings down here, along with the original Dark Lantern and the case where the Sword of Galifar was once held. And then there's a whole bunch of metal-y, weirdy machines. You don't know what they do. The Guardian is currently sitting in one of the paintings. It's a painting of that human person that walks around naked that you assume Mr. Bartleby switched minds with. A picture of him, although about 20 years younger and in a very fine suit, looking incredibly smug, with just the most punchable face. He's like maybe 22, just has this fucking smirk. You see like a cattail kind of wrap around the neck of that portrait and kind of like make its way out in front of the painting. He's sitting there watching you. Aww. Still haven't been able to get poor old Tracy out of her cave, huh?
Yeah, I don't think she likes me very much.
Well, don't take it as personal, front. She's very shocking.
Is there anything I could do to like get on her good side? You said life force.
It might be. Although I'm not sure it'd be particularly pleasant.
Is she like, it's like you say life force, you mean like, you don't mean like meat and physical stuff, right? You mean like something like soul kind of thing?
His tail kind of twitches. He goes, no, I don't mean meat. Soul, psychic energy, essence of a person. I don't like to think that. It gives me a headache. Like stretches out and yawns. And just flops. You can hear him purring from the portrait.
Do you have to volunteer it, or would people offer it to people who are unwilling?
I've seen both.
Oh God. So it's kind of like a soul garbage disposal. Was that how he was kind of using it?
Maybe.
We could find a hobo.
That's dark, man.
Jesus Christ, what happened? Is that the janitor?
I still do good work.
Well, just because you're a robot doesn't mean we're going to give you sick leave. Actually, as a matter of fact, you shouldn't have to sleep. So why don't you start sweeping? What?
You can sweep tirelessly.
Yeah. Seriously. Actually, you don't have to. It doesn't look like you have to sleep. Just plug and play, huh?
You
It's
are
sleeping.
correct. I will clean furiously. Spick and span.
Get the room. Start.
Alan Cleanspan, am I right?
Yeah. say yeet because that pun hurt me.
Yeah. I think I'm ready to go. So
Are you
we're
guys
just-
resting? You're not. Oh, wait. Sorry, you guys were gonna go to House of the Ronnie, right?
That was the plan. What should we do with Alan?
I should stay here, clean, and regain health.
Should we leave him by himself?
He's the same old Alan, just in a different body.
Yeah, but he's tired as shit.
The cat hops from one portrait to the other, closer to Alan, and he says, "I'll be on guard."
I feel safer.
Alright, well.
Remember, there's quite a bit of defensive
Capabilities.
abilities this house has.
Okay, yeah, let's get going then. We're gonna head over to the Ronnie.
Okay, you taking a sky cab
Yeah.
or walk in or what?
Let's take a sky cab.
I don't have a way to disguise myself.
You down?
Nope.
Yeah.
Quick question for the Warforged and 5e. In 3rd edition, healing spells didn't work against Warforged. Only certain like repair spells worked on Warforged. How does healing work with Warforged in 5e? Does it say anything about it?
Let's see.
It says they just go inactive for a while to rest, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking like with any sort of heal spells, like healing word or anything like that.
Oh,
Any
okay,
kind-
gotcha.
I assume potions would work.
Okay.
I have a feeling it might be like half healing. or
While
something.
they're formed from steel and stone, Warforged are living humanoids. Resting, healing, magic, and the medicine skill all provide the same benefits to Warforged that they do to other humanoids.
Cool. So that's much less complicated than 3rd edition. That's good. Cool. Who wants to go first? Which of the parties can split? We do the duo or you and the solo?
Don't matter.
No preference.
I'll flip a I'll flip a bottle. Hey! We'll go with the duo first.
Okay.
You guys just alter yourselves and take Skycab to the lower part of the tower that's been crooked at the top.
Yeah.
You fly there to the theater district. Skycap drops you off. It's pretty quiet. It's early evening, so there's actually still a lot of people out and about. If you'll remember that there's like a whole bunch of bars, there's a whole bunch of theaters, there's like small venues and like stage performances and or not stage like street performers and everything. Everybody's kind of out in full force. It's decently crowded. It's not like wall to wall, but there's at least 30 people in sight anywhere you go. This particular quarter is pretty narrow, being just above the red light district of Sharn. It's a little seedy, although not quite as seedy as the couple levels below it. You manage to make your way to and fro. It looks like one of the large productions has made its way out as soon as you're going close-ish to the theater where House the Ronnie is. Where the House the Ronnie theater is. All of a sudden, there's a huge influx of crowd on the street. You begin. Everything's fine. You can go profile. All of a sudden, ringing out in the night, kind of lowering, making the whole crowd that's spilling onto the street, almost all fall silent at once. You hear a single blood-curdling scream. All of a sudden, the crowd around you just begins to, panic. people are going everywhere. There's about 80 people that are all running in different directions, trying to figure out what's going on, standing, trying to peek over the crowd. You guys are kind of just fucking swamped.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump up on Quincy's shoulders and do a perception check.
Okay, I'll give Quincy disadvantage and Ballstar regular.
Let's see, 22.
22?
Yeah.
There you pinpoint it. Part of the crowd not really knowing like what's happening. There's definitely a part of the crowd that's not moving in a particular direction, the direction of the curdling scream. That's where you see there is about 4 people. One is a woman who's just continuing to scream. She's on the ground trying to crawl away using her elbows. It looks like something is wrapped around her ankle. It looks like there are 3 other people, 2 of them still writhing, not really making any sound, and a third that is just limply being like drugged back as well. Looks like it's something is around his throat. All of them are being like pulled towards this like thing. It's maybe about 8 feet long, and it's just covered in spines and like a starfish octopus. You would say that if you don't see the very sharp, jagged outlines of very human-looking bones in the moonlight. Two of these people that seem to still be alive are currently underneath it. Both of their heads underneath, and they're writhing. One of them has a tentacle around its neck, and it's dragging it towards a woman who's screaming as her ankle, and she's trying to fight and pull herself away. But this, like, a tentacle is just writhing and pulling her back.
Oh, fuck.
Gonna run over there, I guess.
It's right outside the theater, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, shit.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a little bit off. It looks like maybe this thing, like, grabbed these people as they were coming out. Even though it's 8 feet long, it's really close to the ground. So it's like it's almost looks like it might be like an oil slick if you didn't see it trying to like move or anything.
Okay. How far are we from it?
So Ballstar, you don't see it. Ballstar sees there's probably like the majority of the crowd in front of you, and they're all trying to move opposite directions of you. So you're maybe 40 or 50 feet, but you have the full force of like all these people trying to move against you.
I'm gonna start making my way over.
You start trying to move over there, you said?
Yeah,
Okay. You still have Ballstar on your shoulders?
I guess so, unless he gets off.
Okay. Quincy, I need you to roll an athletics check with disadvantage trying to move against that crowd.
You got this, bub.
15.
15's you are going forward. You aren't stopped in your tracks, but you're not making particularly hasty progress. People are still bumping against you, and you're just kind of like using your weight just to like try to like part the way through.
Are we moving faster than like a regular walk?
You're moving slower than a regular walk.
Fuck.
I hate crowds.
You say that, and somebody spills like their drink on you as they
God
are running.
damn it!
It's like a blue raspberry. Definitely
Yeah, it's like
sin.
neon blue.
So sticky.
It's like all in your beard.
Mother. God.
Should we get over there quick? Should I do a spell?
I'm gonna take out my shield and just start like walking into people with it.
Are you fucking shield bashing people?
Not bashing them, but just like making them get out of the way.
Okay, you got your shield out.
Riot shield.
Makes progress a little bit easier, but you're moving like pretty slow. Ballstar, is there anything you're doing?
You want a freedom of movement or what, baby? I can give you one.
I guess if you want.
I'm running low on spells. I probably shouldn't.
Then don't.
Okay. Do-do-do-do-do.
At this point, it looks like this would be around, I guess. That woman is currently being drugged underneath this thing. Her it looks like her legs pretty much up to her thighs are being drugged underneath it. The two people who were struggling underneath it have currently gone completely limp, and the one guy who had the tentacle around his neck is now being drugged head first underneath the thing.
And or how far away?
You probably moved half movement, so 10 feet, so you're 30 feet away at this point, and there's still a crowd coming at you.
Alright. I'm gonna hit myself with the freedom of movement.
What?
I'm gonna hit myself with the freedom of movement.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hold on.
What exactly does freedom of movement give you again?
For the duration, you are unaffected by difficult terrain and spells and other magical effects that can neither reduce the target's speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained.
Oh, fantastic. Cool.
I'm just holding on to Quincy for dear life.
Easily. What does your freedom of movement look like? Because all of a sudden, you're pretty much not able to be touched.
I think there's just kind of like a stream of wind or something that's just kind of making people move out of the way.
Like what?
It's just like a stream of wind around me that just makes people move out of the way.
Just buffeting people? Okay, all of a sudden, people just fucking clear out of the way from you. Either pushed aside or mental or that are compelled to move to the side. Corridor, and you just bolt. Ballstar's hugging onto you like a backpack koala bear. As you make your way to the thing, as soon as you get within range, you see 3 more of these weird, I would say tentacles, but it doesn't really look like they're made of any sort of tissue. It's more of this semi-solid, non-Newtonian substance. Immediately tries to, 2 of them go straight for Quincy. However, with freedom of movement, you are immune to things that reduce your speed. That includes grapple. So they go towards you, and they just slip off of you. The other one is actually going to go for Ballstar. Courage. What's your AC?
18.
It rolls a 16. You smack it away.
No.
You see the people being drugged under. One of the people underneath is beginning to liquefy from underneath, as you can see, the indent of the person is beginning to shrink, and there's just kind of this red goop that's flowing out around where the legs are.
So is this just one creature or something? Is all part of one source?
Yeah, it's got all these weird tentacles and stuff, and there's all these weird sharp protrusions, and you can see pretty clearly now what Ballstar said about human bones. It almost looks like there's a partial skeletons or musculature in the center of this thing. Not underneath it being eaten. That's its face, and it's humanoid, except all the weird shit around it.
Yeah.
So that was your it was action to cast action or freedom movement, and then movement up to it, right?
Yeah.
Well, so what you doing?
We're right up on it.
Yep.
I guess I'll go elephant and just try to pound this fool. So I jump off Quincy's back as high as I can.
Just go fucking elephant.
Mid-flight, trying to fall down and stomp him.
Awesome.
That's a 20 to hit.
That's a hit.
Sweet. 21 magic bludgeoning damage.
Oh shit. Yeah, you jump off of Quincy, go full fucking elephant. You guys are battle hardened at this point tonight. I think all of your instincts are like just super sharp from the last like 12 hours you've had. Because like Quincy doesn't blink, you are just in it to fucking kill this thing. You're this huge elephant, you start stomping on it. You hear it shriek, and actually as you look down, you can see the mouth, their musculature and like skeleton of this thing scream in agony, which is weird. Yeah, as you just 21 magic damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that squashes it to death easily.
Jesus.
It just goes limp, and all of like the gooishness just kind of begins to like puddle and just kind of run off in the streets. All you can see left are just like, you can still see like the face of this thing, almost humanoid, like looking up at you in pain and confusion with these like whites of its eyes, like its jaw like unhinged on one part, and it's just like the jaw open completely. You can still see pearly white teeth. But as the ooze kind of fades away, you notice that its skeleton, the rest of it, is just in, like shambles. Like it's in a weird position. Like bones are places they shouldn't be. And finally, you see just as the goop goes away, you see the eyeballs regoop and just fade in.
God. I didn't recognize the person, did I?
No, it doesn't. You don't. Like it was like this weird skeletal
Okay.
monster, like with half of a broken weird skull
Gotcha.
face.
Gotcha. Can I look
The woman is let go. She's alive. It looks like one of the people that was underneath is still alive. However, the man who had the tentacle around his throat is currently just blue, eyes bulging, tongue out, and the other poor woman that was underneath has been digested from the thighs up.
Is there any other activity? Any other?
Besides
Baddies.
people just running and screaming, roll a perception check.
Yeah. 20.
You don't seem to see anything else. All adrenaline's still spiking. You're kind of looking around for everybody. There's a few brave souls that have like stuck around that are watching you guys, maybe trying to impress their girlfriends. They have like little knives, or one of them has a big old sword out, like a dueling sword, and they're back behind you, kind of looking around trying to find out what's happening. It looks like most of the crowd has gone away. You hear somebody screaming, "Call the guard! Call the guard! Call the guard!"
Can I do a medicine check on it to see like if it's entirely composed of like human flesh?
Sure.
and stuff? 20.
20?
Yep.
With medicine, 20. Yeah, it's completely made of a single human. However, the bones are completely rearranged, and whatever that weird non-Newtonian substance it was using to grapple people was like a radical change of whatever's human. You've actually seen something like this before. This weird radical change, and that was in the drug den.
Where was it?
The drug den. Remember, like the people that kept getting morphed into monsters from that
Oh, yeah.
from that drug that Dosk was putting out.
And that was made by Quesna.
Yeah. That's a good lead.
Can I do like an investigation check around the area?
What are you looking for?
Any kind of cause of maybe someone turning into this, or
Any cause of this?
yeah, any like weird substances on the ground?
Sure.
Clues.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes shit. 16.
16. You search within like a block radius, just trying to find something. You don't find any weird substances or even like clothes. Like you would imagine this thing melted out of, like if it was a human, it was turned into this thing. There would be a pile of clothes or something somewhere. You don't find anything. However, you do see about 8 feet away from where all of this happened was a storm drain that leads down into the sewer system of this level, and there is still a bit of that weird black slime that's just kind of dripping off of the lid of the storm drain.
Is there a grate cover?
It's one of those ones that's built into the curb of the street.
Okay.
Which is kind of
Alright. Well, I have no idea. Maybe we should just go check on Thorani.
okay. Well, sorry, do anything?
If I don't see anything, yeah, I'm just heading towards Thorani. I'm hoping the door's big enough to let me in.
Okay. You guys begin to hear bells and sirens and calls of the guard coming to investigate the scene, and you guys cheese it,
Oh yeah.
use them getaway sticks. You actually end up passing the bar that all of that shit happened within 6 blocks. That bar currently is completely boarded up, windows dark, nothing inside. You can still see a little bit of the blood splatter from the wolf, right? Out of the Bag of Many Tricks.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
used.
Jeez.
Killed somebody on the stairs. Still a little bit of that black ichor blood stain. You pass by that, go a few more blocks, and find the Thorani Theater House. And you guys walk in. It's actually super dark. It's not dark, but like there's nothing going on the stage or anything. There's just kind of people milling around. You can kind of hear some chatter backstage. As soon as you guys open the theater doors, you see somebody at the ticket booth stands up, a dangerous-looking dude. Looks like to be an elf, very live, still dressed in like super hipstery clothes. He stands up, he sees it's you guys, and he kind of just sits back down and gives a wave. He goes, "Hey, should I let him know you're here?"
Yeah, we need. It's kind of urgent if you could make sure that's communicated.
All right, I'll let him know. He goes out of the ticket booth and into the proper theater. What the fuck is this guy's name? I cannot remember.
Oh, is that gnome? No.
He's not a gnome. I remember he's like an elf dude.
Yeah.
Hold on. What is this? Oh, Tian Shield.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You see him. He's got a long coat over a crisp white linen shirt. He's got the coat sleeveless, of course. And he's got his shirt rolled up, and you can see familiarly he has a dragon mark that covers his entire body like a Yakuza tattoo. He's just got simple black hair in a high ponytail. You guys are just kind of waiting in the back of the theater. He just kind of seemingly appears out of nowhere. He gives a small bow. He goes, we we heard the bad news about the doubles. But I presume everything else went according to your, not a plan, but something seemed to have happened, but you seem to be right thinking it was a trap.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess everything worked out in the end. But we actually kind of need to lay low. So, we were wondering if if you guys could cover for us in making sure that the whatever media attention this gets, make sure that they pronounce this dead or whatever.
You know, it's a set because it'll be done. Can you speak up? I'm having trouble hearing.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the deal. However, it does bring our debts to even.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Was there?
We'll make sure everybody thinks you're dead.
Am I forgetting something? Was there something else?
You were thinking about fencing stuff.
Fencing?
Yeah, like having them sell it on the street.
Liquidating some of the assets that you pilfered.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I've got so much shit in this bag of holding, you don't even know. Is there any way you could, maybe pawn some of the stuff off?
He nods his head. He goes, I'll grab the fence. We can work out a deal. Illicit goods, I assume. We can give you cash on the spot right here. However, with a little bit of a price increase with a price decrease that we pay you for convenience charge.
Of course.
Great. I'm glad to see that you're all okay. If you need anything else from us, just
Likewise. Hey, did you just see that happen out in the street just now?
he's turning to go when he head over the shoulder, looking at you. Just,
There was an incident. I think someone might have used some more of those weird drugs and turned into something vile. And someone.
He returns and faces you guys. He says, "That seems to be a running theme. Anytime you come to visit my theater house, didn't that happen last time you were here?
Yeah.
Before the bomb thing?"
Yep.
Huh.
So, just
No, that's the first I've heard of it. Is you guys talking about it?
keep your eyes open, stay alert, stay alive.
He nods. I'll grab the fence. He goes and grabs someone. They work out a deal for stuff. If you want to liquidate it right here and now, probably in-game hours, it's going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours just to sit there, barter, deal, get gold, shit.
Okay.
I will. So whatever that I gave you, the gold amount, just take 10% off of that they'll just take as a cut.
Okay.
Cool.
That's fine.
Terrence, you just want to take a quick little flavor?
Yeah, sure.
So, I think we need to figure out how long ago did that terrorist thing happen with the Warforged playing the bombs in Sharn? How long ago were we at the Library of Biblios? When is that impending solar planar alignment supposed to happen?
Yeah.
We gotta get Alan to 100%.
Why does it matter how long it's been since the bombs or whatever?
I'm just curious. Because there might still be impending Warforged shit going on. You know what I mean? Who knows? How were they able to get in the city? Nobody knows. There's presumably more shit. They got their slave. They got Sharn all blockaded. Presumably there's still Warforged trying to act dirty around Sharn.
All of the flatheads are.
Yeah.
looked at flights at all?
Not yet.
Should do that soon.
I'm hoping we'll save a little money flying out midweek. You know? Thursday. So I mean, we were talking about a Friday, but I might try to get out there Thursday.
Thursday, what is that?
It'd be like the 19th.
17? 19?
I think it's I think it's the 19th.
19 is Thursday.
Yeah.
And then when would the,
Catch an evening flight that Thursday.
when would we fly back?
Maybe 26th, 27th. Depending on what's cheapest, you know. Sunday might end up being the cheapest. Actually, it might end up being the most expensive. Who's to say?
Maybe Saturday.
Could be Saturday. Yeah, we'll just have to shop around. You guys know to private browse that, right? If you leave any cookies on, they'll jack up the price from one place to the next.
I gotta figure out when I'll be done at school. Because sometimes it's later than normal. Like, I give an exam on the 13th. Then I still have to grade everything and log everything. Finalize.
So we're trying to meet up with Enric, and then I was thinking we should probably get a timeline for that whole planar solar alignment thing.
Oh, right.
And I can't do anything until we get a full rest.
Yeah, aren't I at 1 health?
Pretty much. Believe it or not, I haven't had a damn opportunity to use Regenerate on my eyes yet. I've been waiting. Just been at such a clip.
Well, you still have to keep the Zerg thing tuned, right?
I've already unattuned it before.
I thought if you untune it, you lose control of the Zerg to just go wild.
Yeah, but you put them on and you control them again. Anybody can use it. It's an orb. It's not specifically for my character. Anyone can attune to it.
I thought it was like a little eyeballs.
That's how it manifested in me. But no, it's like an orb that you attune to.
So, how do I make an item?
So you go to creations, top, you can, on the right side of that little drop down, create magic item. And then whatever you're trying to create, you can base it off of a trash shard or whatever.
Yeah, and weapon.
You can do, yeah, you do like plus, is it plus 2 or plus 3?
Which one?
Trash
Thresher?
shard, I think it's plus 2. So you just do a plus 2 great club or whatever.
Yeah, plus 2 great club.
Great club plus 2. And then you can add damage and stuff onto it.
Is that alphabetical?
If you just search great club, I think it should be in the list.
What's the dice roll on that? 3d8.
Yeah.
3d8.
So, Chris, I have a question. I have a body injury question.
Uh-huh.
So, about like 5 weeks ago, it was a D&D night, and it was that night that I was over at Grandma's house, and I just got really fucking sloppy. You remember that? Like, I didn't remember at all what happened that time because I was drinking 100 proof whiskey.
Yeah.
Like I was super drunk on while we were playing, and I didn't remember anything of it.
I think I remember by the end, yeah.
God, Jesus Christ, that was horrible, terrible hangover. However, when I fell asleep that night, I was completely clothed, shoes on, and was just laying face down on the guest bedroom. And the way that I was sleeping is that I had this hand propping my whole head up, right? And my thumb was completely down in a super unnatural bent position
Ooh.
because I didn't move, right? Ever since then, I cannot bend. I can move my thumb like this. However, I cannot bend my thumb like that.
Wow.
Any more of it, and it feels like it's broken. Like if I hit it and it moves the thumb anymore, it hurts like an unimaginable pain.
Ooh.
Like obviously I sprained it or hyperextended it for some reason. The only thing is it kind of gets in the way of me playing upright bass.
Yeah.
I've been wrapping it to try to restrict movement so it would be they couldn't bend it. But anything on that top, any sort of pressure or anything that makes my thumb bend that way just hurts fucking immensely.
Oh man.
What should I be doing anything for it or just? I mean, it's been 5 weeks and it's getting really annoying. It hasn't really seemed to have healed at all.
Yeah. So do you still have good grip strength, like grip in a can?
Yes, because I don't need to do this to do grip. I still have this movement.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it comes from the meat of the thumb.
Yep. And when you play bass, is it the pressure?
Well, the thing is, proper technique is one should be having the tip of their thumb on the base of the neck.
Okay.
Right? That's proper technique. Now, I don't have the best technique in the world, and I can get by, but not having that pivot balance on the thumb tires the whole rest of the hand out.
Gotcha.
So, it ends up my stamina just, drops.
Okay, so if you take your hand here and grasp that tip of the thumb and give it a pull, distract it, does that hurt?
Pulling, no.
Does compressing, pushing in?
No. It's just the bending. It's that.
Yes. So you might try doing a series of what I would call mobilizations, where you are gonna primarily, let's see if I can get an angle here. You're gonna pull that joint to kind of distract the joint,
Okay.
and then you're gonna also add a force to the thumb that is like this.
So bending it outwards.
Yep. So it's a pull plus that you gotta push right on the joint.
Okay. The bending that way doesn't hurt.
Right. So it's kind of like you're pulling and then you're translating it.
Okay. I mean, I can do that pretty easily.
Okay. So do that like 10 times and like pretty forceful on the pull,
Okay.
and then get that kind of glide the joint forward.
So, you know what it is? It's when you crack your thumb, you have your thumb like this, and you can push down and it'll crack that.
Yep.
That's what's hurting. Because I can do it in this, and I can't push down here, and I can feel the pressure of that crack. You know,
Yes.
but that is what's hurting.
So all right. So it's this joint.
Well, it's not this one. It's like up here and like this, like the upper part. Like that part. That's where it's super tender. Not going that way, only going that way.
Right. So try that distraction and glide, like do like 10 reps, and then see if there's a difference in your range of motion there on the bend.
I don't have to do it now, but I'll. Oh, ow, that hurt.
The pull.
The pull hurt. Only when I grasp it from the side and not from that. If I grasp it like that. I'll try that. I'll get back to you. I'll try that for a week.
Yeah.
See.
Well, and and also try a distraction with the normal bend, the bend in the same
Like-
direction that hurts.
So not using the muscles in the thumb, just using this.
Yeah, use your other hand so that you're passively moving the joint, but do it with that a tug on it the whole time. So be pulling, distracting, and then bend as a secondary force.
Okay. I'll try that. That one hurts a lot. Yeah, I'll do that. You said about 10 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to do that all this week and see with that. But it just feels like I hyperextended it. Now it's just, it sucks.
Yeah, it might just be something that you got to stretch out for a little while. Does this joint, this first joint here, does it ever crack?
I haven't even tried because it's so sensitive. Even if something lands on top of it, it hurts a lot.
Like, has this joint cracked before?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. That's what really hurts is this trying to push down on that. Like that is the worst pain.
But it hurts on that first knuckle.
It's only on that first knuckle. It's like a little bit behind it and a little bit above it.
So if you kept the thumb itself straight and just pushed at the base of the thumb to bend, does that hurt?
No. Well, to a certain point. That's about as far as I can get. If I go any further, I think that will start to hurt. Well, not as bad.
So it is just flexion of this joint then.
Yeah, just that movement.
Okay.
It's just such a stupid fucking way to have injured it.
So it was like this. Like, that's how I woke up that morning.
Yeah.
Like, thumb underneath.
Like hyperextended or something.
Yeah, give it a lot of distraction. Like, do a lot of that pulling and then bending it.
A lot of that pulling and pushing.
A lot of distraction. A lot of, like, kind of distract the joint and then bend it both ways. And because there's little like meniscus and there's little like tendon pulleys in there that can get kind of out of place somewhat.
Because people have been telling me to ice it or like put heat on it. I don't know. And nothing seems to have worked so far.
I mean, if that helps with as far as pain relief, that's fine, but it's not gonna like physiologically help it get better.
Yeah, it's just gonna take forever to heal, I assume.
Depends on what's causing it. If it's obstructed, then you need to clear that obstruction, and that's what the distraction would do.
Interesting. Because yeah, like I said, it's been like 5 weeks. And just there's no change in the heal.
Chris, that neck thing you had me do worked great. I just did it for like 2 months. You had me doing
The retractions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually did that myself. I woke up with a real bad crick in my neck. I like couldn't move my head at all. Whenever I would be at a stop sign or a red light, and then I would just start to gently accelerate. It would be like, ow, 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 ow.
Oh no!
Yeah, just that force pushing my head back was so painful.
Jesus.
And so the second day I started doing that, I was like, I should probably do some PT on myself. And it didn't like fix it right away, but like it temporarily took away all the pain, and then it was back in like a couple hours. I had to keep doing it.
It's a good one.
So Joe, Alan Greenspan.
Yep.
I mean, you're cleaning the place. They're gone. Those two are gone for at least a couple hours, fencing stuff and going through all that travel and everything. Anything in particular you're doing here, Mr. Bartleby, besides just sweeping and stuff? Is there anything you wanted to get done?
I'm gonna ask. So I made a deal, I think, for a month that I would have the Sword of Galifar and I would be the butler.
Yeah.
How much longer is the 1 month contract in effect?
You don't have to. You don't have to keep doing that voice. You don't have to. You can still like have your own voice like coming through a speaker.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where are we in the deal?
In the deal? Well, it hasn't even been a month since then, I don't think. Like, it may have been a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Okay.
There hasn't been like this has all just been like bam, 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 travel, bam, 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 travel.
Right.
You ask the Guardian, because of course the Guardian is following you around and just kind of watching you and making comments. How long the deal is? He goes, well, you still have you still have a couple of weeks, I guess. I mean, if you wanted to extend the contract, you can continue. But Bobo's litter box does need a thorough changing.
Is Bobo the human?
The cat in the painting just
Oh my God.
slowly nods.
Oh no.
I gotta see this litter box.
You've been all the way through this house. You go. I don't know. You tell me where would Mr. Bartleby set up the human litter box for the body that his brain was switched out to? And it's gotta be fucking just. Oh, it's gotta be so gross. It's been weeks since this thing has been cleaned.
It's also gotta be like a whole kiddie pool of litter.
I was gonna say it's one of those like plastic turtle sandboxes.
Oh yeah, what? You know what? I bet it's hidden in the garden somewhere. Like it's in the garden, like behind a whole bunch of like brush and shit.
It's not just like a Dexter murder room where just the whole room is just holy shit.
It could be that too. What is it? You tell me.
Yeah, I like the idea of just a big circular kiddie pool, absurdly big, and
Just filled with like sand. Like a 9-foot kiddie pool.
yeah, that's good.
You definitely smell it before you see it. It has gotten to the point where he's no longer comfortable getting into the pool itself, so he's just begun doing his business on the rim and then kind of melting off.
Oh god.
It's gross. However, you are immune to disease as a Warforged.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Charlie Tower of Power.
Oh my god.
Is there a weapon that's like the Wolverine claws, kind of?
What do you mean?
Like Galifar can morph into any legitimate weapon.
Oh yeah. You could do like an Assassin's Creed kind of blade thing.
I need it to have prongs that could sift through sand.
I'm sure you could do like a claw, like a ninja claw or whatever.
Yeah, I'll use that to extract these pieces.
Oh god. That looks really cool though. Chic.
Little man turds.
D&D's a good game. Anything else that you want to try to get done while you're sifting through this Bobo's litter box?
I want to make sure and freshen up the bathrooms.
Okay.
Um,
How do you feel as a Warforged? Are you still stunned?
no, I think it's oddly calm.
Really?
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of feeling. There's no like anxiety or anything.
Yeah, nothing to trigger panic or fear. No
Interesting.
nose.
Kind of like Alan Greenspan's like enlightened state, right? Although your intelligence has gone down, right?
Yes. Yeah, I lost a point of intelligence.
What are you sitting at right now? -1?
No, I mean it was 11, so I got +0. Now it's 10 +0.
Okay.
Okay. So you're sort of an average human at this point.
Yeah.
He just relies on the calculator.
It's all numbers. Okay, we'll switch over to Terrence. Beautiful America Terrence. Flying into the twilight. It's just beginning to get dark. As you find yourself flying towards the large crooked tower that Morbid University sits on top of. As you get closer to the tower, you can see like the whole tower is done up in scaffolding. What seems to be just kind of like banks of light. As you get closer, it looks like large spotlights of people trying to like get through the wreckage, build some sort of like reinforcement structure around it so they can eventually try to pull it back upright and then fix whatever has been broken.
In columns.
What?
Scaffolding in columns.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can imagine, I mean, one of these towers is miles wide, right? Like these rise a mile into the sky. Like it's almost space at some of these tallest towers, correct? Right? And so they're so fucking wide. So seeing one of these and flying towards it is a little disorienting. So it looks very toy-like, but you just keep getting closer and you keep getting closer and you keep getting closer until you can finally see the scale of it. Eventually, yeah, there's still people working around the clock. Just crowds of constructions, all these each one of these banks of light. You can see that there's just whole teams working on specific places, even into the evening. As you go towards where Morgrave University should be, near the top, you kind of get into the campus area, and you can see that there are still people kind of walking around. A lot of them have lights, being able to get their path, but they are sitting at a pretty severe angle, like a 40 or 30-degree angle. People are having to go down. A lot of them have rappel wires, make sure they don't tumble off the side, or tumble into something. It's disorienting for sure. But you have the whole campus. It looks like one or two of the buildings, just because of the slant, have just collapsed on one side or the other. The buildings that are still up, it looks like a large part of the top of the library has crumbled and then fallen into another building. Another couple of buildings, maybe the science wing, I guess science wing, sure, why not? And then there's a fine arts building. Those are both demolished, but it looks like the school offices, the library, the lower levels of the library at least, and some of the rec halls and dorms are still pretty much intact. Not a lot of lights going on in there, but in the library you can still see there are little flecks of light and some movement.
Okay. I kind of want to survey, look which windows are open, which offices look like they can be accessed.
The first thing you see very familiarly is your personal office in the school office building. It's a kind of a large clock tower, kind of wide building. I imagine something what is that, neoclassicism in Washington, D.C. You definitely see your office window, where your office would be. Ever since you got the title of Evocation Master, which is not even your thing anymore, you can definitely see your office that you worked so hard is there, hasn't been collapsed or anything. There's actually a light on in your office, oddly enough. You can pick it up. It's the 4th floor, and it's over a couple on the side. But there's a light on in your office. You can see. Inside the library, there's a little bit more movement. Lights are on in the lower parts. People are also, there's spotlights shining on the area where the top of the library has collapsed into the science building.
Okay. I want to look in the window of my office and see if there's anybody in there.
Okay. You just kind of perch on the window?
Yep.
You perch on the window. You kind of waddle up and look inside. What does your office look like? I think we've had this discussion before. Just remind me what Terrence's office looks like.
It's a complete mess. There's maps sprawled all over every desk and stool, and there's stacks of books they're acting as tables with more maps over them. And there's just no room. It's in complete hoarder's nightmare.
Do you have any personal effects or anything, or decorations that you personally like that you put up in there in haste?
Yes. There's I think there's some vampire related stuff, just some artwork depicting vampires, and let's see.
I'm kind of imagining Mulder's office from X-Files.
I don't remember Mulder's office.
It was just in a basement. There's just a bunch of filing cabinets. There's like everywhere. There's posters.
Was it his office that had the "I Want to Believe" poster?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Terrence have the "I Want to Believe," but it's just a vampire? Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Any other personal effects or anything?
Well, I need to get my school ID, my my paperwork so that I can go to the library and I won't be bothered.
Sure. So it still looks like that, although it's even more of a mess because even now that you had like books piled up and maps everywhere, everything's at this huge angle. So like at the corner of one room, there's just a pile of all the things that were once in. Right?
Yeah.
Posters are still up. Some of the paintings and such that were hanging up on one side are kind of like hanging and drifting. However, the light is on in your office, and there seem to be two figures that are kind of at the bottom where all of the books and everything have, and the desk and the chair has been buried by everything. In the corner, where it's tilted, where the gravity is forcing everything into one corner. There's two figures, and they are very carefully. There's like a little force shelf. You have this little magic shelf that's actually at a right angle, so things can be placed on it. And very meticulously, it looks like all of your things are being sorted. These two people are like going through. You see, kind of talking to each other. They like put it up. Another person like digs out another big book, looks up at the shelf, thinks being sorted at, and puts it on one side of the shelf. Another person's going through like small paperbacks, putting things up there. These figures, they seem to be humanoid. One of them is wearing a big old ball cap. The other one is wearing a big helmet.
Do I recognize this as like a work study program kind of a thing?
Roll perception.
18.
18. You don't know what these people are doing. With an 18 perception, I will tell you one thing. This is the only light that's on in this building.
Alright. Is the window open?
No.
Alright. I need to then... I guess kind of fly to see if I can get access to the building. So I'm going to look for an open window in the building. And
Pretty easily. There's at least like 14 broken windows on this building on one side of it. Just kind of peppered all over. You find a broken window you can fly into on the second floor, on the same wing of the building that you're in currently. This office is equally a mess. Although it doesn't look like anybody has begun sorting through anything or begun cataloging anything in this office.
I'm going to bird strut right into my office.
Okay. You just take the stairs as an eagle?
Yep.
I imagine you do like the parrot shuffle up the railing.
Yes.
Just very slowly up two flights of stairs. You just kind of shuffle. You can see down the corridor, up one side of the stairs. There is. It's just kind of darkness, and then there's just a shining light of your office door being open. You can hear shuffling. Other than that, there's no. Yeah, it's just kind of silence. You don't even hear talking.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up and sit at the door for a few minutes and see if they talk.
Okay. Like, just walk into the. Or are you trying to stealth?
Stealth.
Okay. Give me a bird stealth.
Okay, I don't know what the giant eagle's
plus
stats are, but I rolled a natural 19.
plus 3.
Okay. Plus 3 to dex.
22 then.
Nothing seems to happen. You come up and you just get just outside. You hear shuffling. You hear large thumps of books being placed places. And kind of like the ruffles of maps and such. But there's no talking.
Alright, I'm gonna poke my head through the doorway and just watch him.
These two people they're still cataloging the books. It looks like they're setting all the maps to one side, and they have so far kind of dug up your desk. And one of them is currently going through the top drawer. He's just pulling out the main drawer of the desk. He pulls it out, careful not to spill anything, kind of lays it through, and is like rifling through the papers in your top drawer, sets that aside, takes out another drawer. He's kind of going through papers as well.
Alright, I'm just gonna step right into the middle of the doorway and go.
You stop.
America.
Stop, and they both turn at the very same time. One of them turns, the other one takes 2 steps forward and goes to try to grab you.
I start flapping and like clawing at his face.
Okay. Yeah, you will fly. He tries to go for it. He just like begins flapping, and he like kind of becomes a little like stunned for a second, begin clawing at stuff. Immediately, the other man begins coming up behind him, trying to grab you as well. But you're flapping around, and you're just a little bit too hard. You nick the ball cap off of one of their heads, and you notice from eyebrow back completely flat.
Oh god.
Right. I'm gonna try to draw him out, so I'm gonna kind of back out in the hall and see if they follow me.
Oh, they're following you.
All right,
And with a fly speed, you're a lot faster than they are, but they are like cramped. Like you're flying upward at an angle, which is easy for you, but they're like clambering up like a 45-degree angle with no harnesses, so they're slipping. There's like a water pipe that's broke somewhere, so like the carpet is soggy and wet. Like a lot of the wall is like water stained. There's like some water that's like constantly flowing down to the lowest part of the building. You're fine. You can keep ahead of them pretty easily, but they are clawing desperately towards you.
all right. Do I know how much time has passed since I became a bird?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay, so I got plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right. Once I feel I'm a pretty good distance ahead, but they are like quite a bit away from my office, I'm gonna turn around, fly over them, beeline it, and see if I can shut the door and lock it.
So you're trying to get back into your office?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna try to juke them?
Yeah.
All right, give me
Juke
a
'em.
fly check. Like, give me some sort of skill for this.
I mean, it's got to be some kind of acrobatics or dexterity.
Whatever you think.
Okay. A 14.
14. Yeah. This dice is.
Hi, I'm the
try.
Duke.
I'm gonna use crit dice. That's a 9. Both of them try to like grab out. Like you've gotten to the very edge of this hallway. As you're flapping up and like watching them clamber up, just get maximum distance, and then you just like air brake and then go into full hawk dive, right past them. Immediately, they try to like throw up their hands and try to grapple you. You feel one of them graze one of your tail feathers as it gets ripped out of your butt. But you you rocket past them, air brake near your office, and then take a quick turn into it. As you're looking back as you turn, you see both of them have stopped climbing and have just begun to slide with the water.
Alright, I want to try and close the door.
You are an eagle.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna have you roll something with disadvantage.
Okay.
What are you trying to do here? Just like beak it, or are you trying to use your hand, like your talons? What?
Just my body mass. I imagine I weigh 20 pounds or so.
Yeah, you're a big eagle.
I'm just pushing against the door.
Okay, give me a strength check with disadvantage.
Okay. Do I have any strength bonus, Josiah?
+2, I think.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe +1. Hold
I got
on.
a 13 and a 6. It's the lower one.
6 isn't enough, unfortunately. It seems that a lot of the books, and even it looks like the desk itself, has
yeah.
been
Here, this +3.
poured on top of the door as it's hanging open and pushed in.
Yeah, it's a
You see them, you hear them sliding down the hallway,
Okay.
trying to break.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for my my school ID.
Roll a perception check. Actually, you have disadvantage because you're an eagle, or you have advantage
Right.
because you're an eagle, right?
Yeah, good
That's
idea.
that division.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I rolled a 12 and a 15, so I don't know what bonuses are for that. But
Wisdom.
Perception +4.
You
+4, so 19.
easily. It actually looks like these flatheads have picked out your ID and have hung it in a very nice organized position on that little force shelf that they were putting stuff on. You can see it glinting in the moonlight like Resident Evil.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Alright, I snag it in the beak and start flying
Snake in
out the door.
Out the door?
Beak.
Okay. You get the little lanyard in your beak. They have, well, I'll roll for it. One of them, fucking A, rolled a natural 1. So the first one is trying to slide and just completely misses the door. There's no yell, there's no like emotion or anything, but you see there's just quiet, and you see one of them just to the door. trying to grasp the door, but just completely slides past it. The other one, much better with the 15, slides past the door and grasps the frame and is beginning to pull himself into the middle of the door frame at an angle.
I'm gonna zip by him and go back up the hall.
Okay. Well, he's going to try to grapple you as you're moving past him.
Okay.
What's your AC as a giant eagle?
12.
13.
Doesn't matter. He rolled a total of 6. They are completely inept. You're a giant eagle and you're covered in talons and a large beak. Give me the scene as you escape. He's sitting there like a goalkeeper trying to catch you as you get past him.
Okay, I fly directly at his face, stop and turn around quickly, to psych him out, go right up, take a shit, fly over his head.
Okay. Yeah, you come right at him. He tries to grab you with both hands, which puts him off balance. You flip over, put that cloaca right in distance, squirt it right in his flat fucking face, and it causes him to stumble. He falls off the door frame and tumbles into the darkness of the hallway as he just begins sliding. There's no gratifying ugh or like ah, just fucking silence.
No Wilhelm scream.
No Wilhelm scream. It's just silence as he tumbles into darkness.
Alright, I fly back out the window I came in.
Okay. You quickly go up to the stairway, very quickly do the parrot shuffle down the railing, and then very quickly go out the broken window. I think as you're flying out of this building, you begin to see 8 other figures running through different spotlights, congregating towards that building, just running at full speed.
Jesus.
Christ. Alright, I'm gonna stay in the dark or in the shadows, stay out of the spotlights.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you're way high above, but you see 8 come, try to get into the different ways. Like some break windows, just dive head first. Others take doors. But you also begin to see at least the initial 8, and like every once in a while you'll see 2 or 3. Just keep moving.
All right. I'm gonna head toward the library building, and I'm gonna find a ledge outside a window to perch on, on a place where there's a light. Inside.
Okay. You try to look inside.
Yes, I want to see what's going on inside.
Okay. Roll for it. You take a perch on a window. There's a light in it. This looks like it goes into one of the upper levels of the library. And you take a look into the library. The library is a complete mess. There is not a single book on any of the shelves. There are books and pages and water damage, and even like some obviously there was fires here at some point that have been put out. Yeah, you can't even see the lower levels, but up here in the top, it's just carnage. Brings a little tear to the intellectual eagle's eye.
Sure. And there's a light in here, or no?
There is a light. There's like a spotlight. You can see some figures up on this upper level that are just picking up books. They are dressed in just like brown or black robes. Every once in a while, just picking up a book, and then they'll like write something down and take the book out of your view.
Okay. Does this look like a normal behavior, or does this strike me as odd?
They're not wearing any head pieces or anything, and you can see if their heads are fully intact. At least what you can see in this window.
Okay. And do they look like they're conversing and interacting at all?
It does.
Okay.
However, as you're out here, you look down, and you see 6 more figures burst out of the library front doors in the same brown robes, each with like hats or hoods on, running towards the office buildings.
Nice. Okay, so I'm familiar with this library, and I would at least know where the section would be on, like, demonology, right?
I would say deep faculty section. Like a section one would have to use their ID card to be able to access normally.
All right.
In the basement.
Oh, in the basement. Okay. All right. I'm gonna look for a point of entry, but I'm not gonna go in yet.
Okay. Just like the other building, this one seems to have plenty of broken windows. You can kind of make your way into.
All right. Is there one which is strategically closest to the faculty library?
You can find one on the first floor. I mean, obviously, basement doesn't have windows.
Yeah.
So you can find one in the first floor that'll allow you access into one of the like stairwells that'll give you like that. Remember that there was a big spiral staircase you guys had to chase with Zalhart on?
Yeah.
It's that exact staircase.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna. Is there any lights in here? Do I see any movement?
There's light periodically, but it looks like they're working on certain sections at a time. So there are very specific sections that do have light. They just seem to be like these simple little hovering magical light spells. They're just kind of like sitting there and hovering. Not the whole library is not like illuminated.
Yeah. So is there any work going on?
There is. It looks like some of the there's still people sitting at their cataloging. Somebody has set up like a scaffolding that is level, so one can walk on, pretty large over like the second floor and drop into the first floor. There's a whole bunch of ladders and a whole bunch of workstations on like that scaffolding. There are just pedestals and books stacked, and then there's people at each one of these pedestals with a large book that are sitting there going through each one of the book that is stacked, looking at the book, with then writing something in the book that's on the pedestal, closing the book, setting it aside. So there's probably 16 people that are doing that, but periodically you see there's other people in robes that are, picking up books and moving it to stacks to each one of these people.
Okay.
But as you're sitting here, you see 2 or 3 of them have just dropped what they're doing and turned and are just running Terminator full force. Just
Okay, they're wearing hats, I imagine.
hats or hoods.
So I want to just, while I'm still a bird, I want to observe, or I want to pick out exactly my path to get down to the faculty library, and who could possibly see me. I want to study them and make sure that they look like they're a regular person.
Okay, roll a perception check.
It was +5 for my bonus, or +4?
Plus
With
4.
advantage.
Okay, well, I rolled a 19 natural, so yeah, so it'll be 24 or
Okay.
3.
You pick out a safe enough route that actually people aren't going to see you. There's enough of this library that's not lit that you can just kind of move through the darkness. You now need to roll a stealth check.
Natural 1.
Oh no. Well, you gotta tell me what the natural 1 is. You make a big ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine this is 5 to 10 minutes after I've been sitting and watching, and all of the flatheads have ran out. But
You say all of the flatheads,
okay,
but it's very periodical that they you see at least 1 or 2 every 45 seconds to a minute just running, coming from where they are. I think somehow you get, with a natural 1, the attention of a flathead,
yeah.
but it's in a fantastical and catastrophic way. What happens?
I'd say I get caught on a wire or something, and I start flapping and buzzing, and one of them spots me.
You gotta elaborate a little bit. Give me some of that good storytelling.
All right, so I start bird stepping my way into the building to the window, hop down off the ledge, and as I get close to that staircase, there's just some wiring that's dangling there, and I think I can just slip right through it. But it ends up being a live wire, and it's starts to, it's not gonna do damage, but it starts to buzz me, and I start to freak out and flap and cough.
There's sparks and shit. You see one coming out of the darkness, an area that's not even lit. There is a flathead who's running as fast as they can on a ridiculous incline. The hood is blown back, revealing just the brain that has just been gone. It's that kind of disturbing flathead. She's running. There's a caw. She takes a couple steps, methodically turns, and just starts moving towards you.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna fly back out the window.
Okay, give me just a acrobatics check. Just try to run as fast as you can.
Okay.
Or I guess it would be an athletics.
Alright.
Either or +3.
3?
+3 to either. Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's a 11.
11? Okay. I think that you're kind of in a panic. You know what's happening here. You don't even see a broken window. You just see a window, you're a big fucking eagle, and you just erupt from a weakened, large window that's supposed to let in light in that main area. Glass explodes. As glass explodes and you make your way out, You see in the courtyard, people have stopped. You can count 10 to 15 have just stopped at it. Like, they're all sitting there at an angle, holding on to something, looking up directly at you. And people just begin pouring out of the office.
I gotta lead him away. So I'm not. Let's see. I'm gonna go in the direction of the slope downward,
Okay.
so that they all can either slide or
Yeah, for sure.
run downhill. And I'm gonna stay well above what they can reach, but I just want to draw them away as far as I can for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you go towards the slope pretty easily. You see rocks, glass, bricks, branches, leaves being thrown at you as much as possible. But as none of them hits because you're high enough or as high up enough. But you're just rocketing down. You're much faster than any of them. So all of them begin to let go and try to slide in that direction. From adrenaline's pumping. From what you can count, well, you know what? Give me a perception check.
18.
18. You can count anywhere from 30 to 60 people.
All right. So I'm gonna keep climbing. And
I thought you were diving.
well, yeah, I'm going in that direction.
Okay, so you're like moving. You're like, if the slope is this way, you're moving that way, or are you diving, or you're climbing?
Eventually, I'm gonna start climbing.
Okay, so you like sweeping.
I'm gonna get a few minutes of lead on them, and then I'm gonna start sloping up to get into the sky away from them, so that they lose me.
Okay, so what's the plan? You
Well,
obviously have lured them out down
Yeah.
into the slope.
I'm trying to buy myself some time here. I'm gonna, and since they can go down way faster than they can go up. So I'm gonna lead them away for as long as they'll follow me for like 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
And if they start to like give up or whatever, that's when I'm gonna pull up real high, and then like from real high up, hopefully they can't see me. I'm gonna loop back around, and I'm just gonna try to charge right into the faculty library.
Okay. You begin to see there's a pattern. People are either diving head first to get ahead of you, but there's definitely a pattern. There's so many of them. They're spreading out. People are like charging down to try to get as down as they can down the slope, but people are beginning to hang on to objects and buildings and such that they just have a wide net from where they started to the bottom. So there are still people way up at the top near the library that are just hanging on the tree or building. So yeah.
Okay. Well, gonna kind of I'm gonna do a little bit of a plan B. I'm going stealth, so I'm gonna take a real wide berth as if I'm giving up. And I'm gonna try and kind of make my way to the back of the building and just find a dark spot to sit.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
What was my dex 3?
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Okay. How long do you wait?
I'm gonna wait until my polymorph runs out.
Okay. Polymorph runs out within 30 minutes. You turn back into Terrence.
Alright, so as Terrence, I'm gonna cast Gaseous Form, go into a mist, and get down into the faculty library.
Okay. This is really easy. You just, through cracks, through foundation, through windows, you see the same people. You see in the courtyard that net of people that have been sliding haven't disrupted. However, the people that are working have begun to congregate and just wondering what the fuck's going on with these people that have all like slipped. It looks like they're trying to get repair and rescue crews to get the people to rescue the flatheads that have been down the slope. Emergencies are called. Your sirens, the watch, fire department, and everything is called. Begin to arrive on skycabs. Easy distraction for you. You slip down basement through the stacks, down further. There's like a kind of a walled, barred off section, the most dangerous books for the faculty. Will somebody roll a D100 for me, just to give me like the state the faculty library is in?
40.
40? Okay. Oddly enough, the way the faculty library is made, all these books are pretty restricted because they are considered dangerous or have dangerous information. So a lot of the most dangerous or the most valuable ones actually have chains attached to them. So one can't just check them out. They have to sit there and read it next to the stacks. So a lot of these books, although off of their shelves, are still attached to the shelves that they were filed in and are in relatively the same order.
Awesome. All right. I'm gonna float all around the room, make sure that there's nobody here. Am I alone?
It seems you are alone. This is kind of the basement of the stacks. The stacks being like, you've been in the stacks before. It's kind of like it's a maze down here. The faculty library is made to be protected, and there is a kind of a locked bar system that you're able to slip by pretty easily. Doesn't look like anybody's been in here yet.
All right. Then I will become my normal form. I will go to the Dewey Decimal file cabinet thing and start
What are you looking for?
researching.
Yeah, so what are you looking for here?
Right to the demonology section.
Pretty easy for you to find. It looks like most of these books are intact and still chained to the shelves.
Yeah, so I want to look at a reference book that has details about the different levels of hell, like the topology and just anything about like the layout and how you can move from one level to another. What creatures live on different levels.
Those are all very specific, but I will give me a second.
So I made a couple of items, but I don't know how to add. I have to roll an extra 2d8 with the thresher or whatever.
Yeah, I see if you add a modifier to it. Since you use bonus damage. So you're going to edit the item or whatever.
Alright, here's the thresh yard. So I want to edit this one. Edit.
Yeah, modifiers.
So it has modifier, bonus, magic,
Oh,
2d8.
yeah.
So that's it?
Yeah.
Well, it had a tag that said private, never submitted.
I don't think that matters.
That's fine.
Yeah. You should still be able to put it in the inventory.
So I wasn't sure how to. Oh, I can just do the same thing, but 4d6 for Bomberman.
So at House Theroni, we just sold some stuff and said they'd fake our death. Agreed?
Yep.
Okay.
So should I? Actually, I think I should prioritize finding out how demons respawn and the time frame for it, right?
Yeah, regeneration. Anything about location on specific circles or levels in hell? Or
Yeah.
any kind of location.
Yeah, so I'll start with the specific first. Like if it's like a universal like law on how long it takes a demon to respawn if vanquished.
I'd give yourself any kind of. Are you back to Elf, Terrence?
Yeah.
I'd give yourself any kind of boost or buff you can.
I don't think I have anything like that.
Okay.
Do I?
I could give you like an enhanced ability, but I don't know if that's a wizard thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the amulet did that we got from Quesna?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay.
It's the marking one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Arcane mark.
It's the mark of the marquee or something. Yeah, arcane mark is the spell.
Sorry. This is... So tell me about your birthday. What'd you get for your birthday? Besides what was the Niagara thing?
Oh.
Is that not something you want to talk about on video? Okay. Sounds awesome.
It was very good.
Was that like a nature walk?
Yeah, so there's a hiking path right by Niagara Falls called like Devil's Hole, and it's this like place where like the Niagara River gets really rapid and like really intense.
It's
And
like the width of the river gets super small and then goes around this bend.
So like this massive body of water gets super compressed just by
So
like.
is it just like ridiculously fast?
Yeah, it's just really wild water, and it's this really deep valley that goes down like 10 stories, and there's this like massive staircase that you can walk down to get right like pretty close to the water.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, and we were just in this like outrageously beautiful place, and it was like 70 degrees and like really windy and super sunny, and it was just like the perfect day, and it was just so beautiful.
Put you in a good place?
Yes.
Oh, I'm super jealous. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
It's a great day.
It was very good.
Perfect weather.
So we did that. We had our friend driving us around, so we were able to kind of just do whatever we wanted, and then we ended up like walking around the city, like through these back alleys, like right as like sunset hit.
Aww.
It was a very good day.
That sounds so cool. Me and Dave and Renee were going through a phase where we're trying to find stuff to hike in Kansas. And, I mean, did you ever see the Flint Hills? You guys know what the Flint Hills in Kansas are?
No.
So it's like the places that we went hiking were in the Flint Hills. But when you picture Kansas, you picture flat, right?
Yeah.
So there is like this kind of like protected, like federally protected place between Wichita and Kansas City called the Flint Hills, where it's maybe if you were to go 80 miles an hour down the highway, it maybe takes you an hour and a half to get through. The thing is, there are no trees. There's mild shrubbery, and it's just grass. So as you're driving through this, literally, in any direction you can see, as far as the horizon hits, it is just rolling hills and short grass. It is ridiculously trippy because it's very like rolling, but it's like 10 miles in any direction, and there's fucking nothing.
Wow.
have to find a picture. Hold on. It is the trippiest thing.
I'm picturing the Windows 98 screensaver.
It's like that, but to the horizon.
Huh. Yeah, and then the day after, I just hung at the house and watched Invader Zim with Ash. He really liked it.
Oh, the new one? Did you see it?
The new one is amazing. But
Oh, it was so good.
we watched the old one.
The whole time I had like this stupid cry smile on my face the whole time.
It's exceptional. What do you think, Michael?
I fell asleep. I didn't finish it, but it was very good. What I
Yeah.
watched.
It was like it came back swinging better than ever.
Man, yeah, I was so sad when that stopped. Hunter Vasquez is a genius.
Yeah, man, it holds up.
It was so dumb. It was so dumb, but I loved every minute of it.
Now pay special attention to that ham. You're gonna be seeing
The
that
ham. Here, I'll put it in the group me. This is like a kind of an aerial shot. But it is this in every direction. You can see what the weather is 20 miles away. And it is kind of spooky. Especially if there's like a storm in one direction, you can see every like gigantic thunderhead.
Wow.
And that's why I was afraid of clouds as a kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is this like Western Kansas?
It's the Flint Hills. It's just like in like 20 miles in every direction. It's just rolling hills, and there's fucking nothing. Not a single man-made thing to be seen.
Man.
It is super trippy.
Yeah, this is kind of what like Western Kansas looked like when we were going from Wichita out west to Colorado.
Actually, I think this is in between Wichita and Kansas City, so this is kind of eastern.
Okay.
It's northeast of Kansas because it's like federally protected.
Ah.
So like nobody can build there. It's like wilderness at the most like extreme.
Wow.
It's nuts. So we went hiking in up there, and it was just the most bizarre experience. Because if I'm hiking, I wanted to see like trees and wildlife and like stuff, but it's just barren fucking waste.
Wow.
Climbing hills.
Climbing hills, and then once you climb that hill, there's thousands of other giant hills. And like there's cactuses and grass, and that's it.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
We did a car trip through New Mexico, Nevada, and into California, and there were hours of just driving through. You're on a road and there's nothing else.
God, yeah, that's just the trippiest thing. I would love to do a road trip, especially in a convertible through the desert.
Oh, you would die.
Yeah.
The sand.
Have some goggles. You friggin' Mad Max goggles.
So anyway, to get back into it,
Yeah.
Chris, you find a whole bunch of stuff on demonology. You find a whole bunch of stuff on the 9 hells specifically. I need you to roll me a library check. Give me a check. I mean, I think you're probably pretty adept at this.
I
I won't give
haven't
you
done
advantage.
this check yet.
But give me a check of like trying to find what you're looking for.
Give me
Yeah.
give me
So
a Dewey
actually,
Decimal
I think
check.
I've decided the priority I want to look for is specifically if there's any like principles that govern a demon being slaughtered on our plane or just outside of its plane, and then like the time frame method of respawning in its primitive or in its like original
Okay.
place.
Okay.
So I want to know about demon spawning,
Devil spawning, you mean?
devil spawning after being killed.
Because devils and demons are completely different things.
We want devils.
Yeah, and so in general, but also if I can find anything specific on Rakshas, then I want to look at that.
Okay. Give me a check.
All right, with advantage. Nice. 19 was the first roll plus what would it be for investigation. So 29.
Investigation 29. As you're looking through, the like catalog, trying to find specifically something, you're not given any information. Really, all of the books are about the Nine Hells, and it was something you have to go find that book and read that book and then find information in that book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some real life stuff here. I'm going to give you a Google search. Because here, Reddit, at r/DM behind the screens, somebody has, in complete detail, written a gigantic essay on every single level of the Nine Hells.
Damn.
So, if you want to go through these, you can read all of them and figure out what's happening and actually do the real life research. However, with a 29 investigation check, I will give you a hint. As you're pouring through these books, a specific book has a sigil on the front of it that is familiar, which is twin humanoid devils twisted around each other in a green binding.
Oh yeah.
One male and one female.
I've got the amulet right here.
That points you to a specific level of hell, which is Phthelagos, which is spelled PHLEGETHOS.
Legathos?
Phlegathos?
Like phlegmatic.
Yeah.
Phlegm.
Phlegthos.
Phlegathos.
Yeah. So I will send you a link to the Reddit whatever it is. HLEGETHOS. And I will put that in the group name. Once you read this will give you all the information in there. And it is an essay. However, you find so that link I put in is to the Nine Hells fled Jesus, whatever word that is, to the Reddit thing, and the essay this person has posted. You'll have to do some reading by yourself. However, I would think as Terrence, you're probably able to break the chain pretty easily and take it with you.
All right.
How are you getting out of here?
I've been running short on. I've got some first level spell slots here. What can I
Wait,
do?
the gas. Can you switch back and forth with the gas form?
I have to check that. I'm not sure if I can.
Oh wait, I think that's a druid thing. I think we're thinking of two different spells.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I think it's a level 2
Wait,
spell,
lost.
gaseous form.
Yeah, that's mine. It's a 6th level.
That's 3rd level. Concentration up to 1 hour.
I want to roll you up into my life.
It doesn't say anything about coming in and out of the form.
Okay, so I think once you lose concentration, you just solidify.
Alright, so what else can I do here?
Um.
So how's the foundation looking around here?
Pretty cracked.
Okay, if I'm gonna find a crack and I'm gonna use mold earth to make a little burrow hole big enough I can squeeze out.
Yeah, easy. You find yourself on the opposite side of the building, burrowing your way up to ground level. You are currently at a angle where you have to kind of stand both on the ground and on the building to kind of stay upright.
Okay, I'm gonna close that hole back up just the way it was.
Okay.
I will cast invisibility on myself and
GTFO?
yep, get out of there and get well clear of campus before I hail a cab.
Okay. I'm just gonna give it to you with invisibility. You find yourself, it's a good couple hour trek through ridiculously tainted terrain that is at an angle. But safely, you find yourself back into a construction area, and then you go lower and lower. You find yourself in the theater district, where you find Skycab and Maker Comic. After everybody, you guys have fenced things. Alan Greenspan has been cleaning that litter box, and Terrence. You guys find yourself back at Mr. Bartleby's before Terrence. Terrence comes back, winded and looking worse for wear. As soon as you enter the Guardian, the painting, his tail just kind of like wiggles excitedly and goes, "Oh, Terrence, what happened? You don't look so good."
I could use some sleep.
Oh, stress is bad for the body. You'll find all of the guest rooms have been completely cleaned and beds made, as well as the litter box has been cleaned, so the smell is gone. Your friends are currently downstairs in the basement.
Thank you, Mr. Bartleby.
As you leave, he begins jaunting from painting to painting to follow you.
I'll join everybody downstairs.
What's everybody doing?
I'm dusting the components.
Okay.
I'm sitting in a chair fighting off sleep like Michael.
Poor Michael, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm
I'll-
tired.
I'll tell everybody.
Terrence bursts down the stairs, looking tattered and torn, pale, eyes sunken, and just like super stressed.
Flamagos! Flamagos!
God bless you. God bless you.
Flamagos!
God bless you.
Do you have phlegm in your throat?
I found the home of Wesner.
Really?
I know where he's from.
South Central?
You know which level of hell?
Flegetas.
Oh, that's what that is?
God bless you.
Okay. Well, that's one of the levels. Do you know the location?
I need to pore through it and find the details. We may still need to visit the dragon.
Would you guys like me to read you the opening intro into that book
Sure.
Sure.
as Terrence reads it aloud?
Sure. Go for it.
It starts with a quote. Quote, "Mortals often speak of burning in hell. Always, the place to which they refer is Phlegethos, the plane of hell that hunts down souls for devils to carry away. Illidan Windwalker. The fourth layer of hell, in many ways, is the layer of the 9 hells that mortal humans generally refer to as, quote, hell. It is a place from which stories of fire and pain spawn. Here, all of the landscape is perpetually distorted by heat to those who are not the devil inhabitants of the plane. In this place, water instantly evaporates. Instead, all lakes and rivers have bubbling magma. Thousands of geysers strewn across the landscape blow jets of flame rather than steam as the denizens of the land move across the crystalline ground. The landscape of Phlegathos only inspires further legends of the pain of hell. The fires of this land seem to seek out any creature that isn't native to the plane and murder them. In keeping with the mortal idea of punishment, the fires of this plane do not seek to immediately kill those they find. Instead, they torture and render useless these creatures so that the devils of the plane can find them and take their souls for damnation. These traits make the plane, much like the other planes of hell, extremely difficult to traverse and nearly impossible to map or spell.
Well,
It's where we must go.
so we just got 2 uses of fire immunity or something, didn't we?
We have a ring that grants fire immunity.
Only for 6 hours.
6 hours.
Why 6 hours? For the
That's the 2 doses of
So,
two
does anyone
doses
have
of
investiture of fire besides
Fire.
Barbelina and Terrence?
I have investiture of flame. Yeah, I can do that too. And we
The
have
3 of us can cast that spell for fire immunity.
I have fire resistant armor. We have the ring grants you fire immunity. We have the fire cloak.
However, it does occur to Terrence that although this is a level of hell, it is still just as big as the material plane. So it is an entire plane of existence where this happens. It's not just a simple little jaunt or continent. It is a whole level of existence, like all of the levels, or all of the planes of existence.
Yeah, so we can't just have resistance, like, we have to have immunity.
Well, it seems like we need a method of traveling even once we're there. Like, we could land in Detroit and he's in Florida somewhere.
Also, investiture of flame lasts 10 minutes.
Oh,
Well,
okay, that's not gonna work.
is protection from elements not a spell anymore?
Might be.
absorb elements is, but
Absorb elements?
That's different.
Yeah, I don't think that's one in here. I don't have it at least.
It's like a first level spell.
I have protection from energy, and it gives you resistance to the choice of damage you choose, but it only lasts an hour. So
Yeah, well.
I currently have fire resistance. Who doesn't have fire anything?
I don't think
Terrence has default fire resistance as well, because the
Gauntlet.
Dragon Fang Gauntlet.
What about you?
Fire robe?
Then we have a fire cloak, so 3 of us have default resistance. Might not be good enough.
I think the resistance would be better than nothing. So we have 4 items that grant fire resistance, right? By default?
Yeah, I think we need to keep looking for more information. I think we still gotta go to the dragon.
That's a good idea.
We can try scrying on him. We have his possessions.
What does that true name thing do? Doesn't that tell us where he is?
We're not entirely sure.
Yeah, we don't really know, to be honest. We know it.
think if we there's a 9th level spell where you can like just like say the name of the creature and it will be pulled from whatever plane into your plane.
So I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I'm kind of irrelevant because we don't have that spell.
He was talking
What
about
spell are you thinking of?
some spell that got a
Gate.
true name.
Oh, gate.
Yeah, it's 9th level.
It's a big boy.
We could use the wish spell.
Well,
Oh, interesting.
so could we scry him and then gate directly to him and just squish him?
No.
But you don't have a gate. I mean, you could use. I guess you could use the wish spell as a gate spell. Correct.
The,
Well, here's, I can get us to hell. I can get us to the correct circle, and maybe we use the wish to get us to where we need to be.
what? No.
That's the same thing.
So what gate does is you say the name of the creature, it pulls it from the plane it's on into your plane.
Here's the thing.
You have
How
to
do
kill
you
it
get
in
out
its plane.
after you've burnt your wish
I'm saying
and
we
your
never
biggest
leave this
spells?
Oh, we can plane shift out.
Oh, you can?
I think if we kill Quesnev here again, he just respawns back in hell. I think you have to kill him in hell. I think that's like a legal stipulation.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if that's
Well,
it
it
or
also says deities and other planar rulers can prevent portals created by this spell from opening in their presence or within their domain.
right, but we know his true name.
So maybe we wish for the exact location of Quesnev, plane shift there. Do our thing.
Well, does plane shift allow you to go anywhere you want on that plane?
I can go anywhere, yeah.
It just takes you to the plane. It doesn't put you in a specific spot on that.
We have to know the exact location of a specific spot
Right.
in order to help the plane shift.
I will tell you, if you spend a couple hours pouring through that tome, I can give you the rundown, and then later you can probably read that essay or whatever. But I can give you a brief summary if you are going to put a little bit of time to reading that book that we have.
Yeah, I'll be reading it. I'll probably read it on the plane.
I'll probably read it too.
Okay. Are you're gonna read it here now though, or what?
I'll read it tomorrow on my flight.
Or in game.
Oh! I'm just talking about in game.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I guess taking like a rest or anything.
Yeah, so I'll say in game I speed read it to everybody right now.
What?
Never
Terrence-
mind.
Well, no, speed reading and reading aloud is two different things.
No, Terrence is a damn wizard. He can actually modulate his voice up in double pitch and in double speed.
So we're listening at, I don't know.
I'll
man.
give you the speed read, and then you can like summarize for people. How's that?
Sure.
So, what are you guys doing? Are you taking a full rest? Short rest?
We need to
What?
take a full rest eventually. Where do we want to do it? Do we want to tree stride back to or transport via trees to the chateau? Or do we want to stay at Bartleby's for the long rest?
Are we done in Charm for now?
I think it's safe to stay here. Like, there's defenses. There's no reason anyone would know where we are unless they followed you, which is possible, Terrence. And we don't really know what's waiting for us at the chateau unless, like, maybe something weird is there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can just rest here.
Alright.
You 6 hours here?
Yeah.
That's the
I
consensus.
vote to do our rest here.
That's fine.
So I can power down, but I'm still conscious, so I could listen to someone read aloud for hours.
Exactly. So Terrence, you guys all kind of go to bed. Alan Greenspan and Terrence get the summary. Felagos is a giant, fiery, terrible, despicable wasteland full of pain and burning. There's lots of different places on Felagos, including an ocean of magma, a volcano the size of the planet Earth, underground caverns that are filled with lakes and lavas that seem to warm everything, multiple small settlements, and a very large settlement. The large settlement is home to both the pleasure center for devils and the like, and evil-minded people. Also, the judicial system of the entirety of the Nine Hells. Being lawful evil, there's a very strict code all devils have to follow. And anything contract related, any mortal, it says in contracts, can try to dispute these. And the dispute generally takes place here in these courthouses. However, in order to get a devil lawyer, generally the price is the immortal soul of the person who wants to dispute the case. It's very, very, bureaucratic and very, very evil. There is a very specific order in the Nine Hells for devils. It kind of goes into 5 different groups. There's lesser devils, or there's least devils, lesser devils, devils, and then archdevils. As Terrence is reading through it, specifically through the rank system in devils, each one of these has a very specific sigil that marks it as a specific kind of devil. Terrence, actually reading through this book, recognizes one of the emblems that is on the reverse side of that amulet. That marks Quesnef as a marquis of an archdevil, which means there are 13 different ranks of archdevil. At the very top, pretty much the godlike beings that are able to manipulate it at their will. Quesnef is rank 6, which makes him a marquis. He's very, very highly connected with you. The archdevils that rule this place is actually a bit of a paradox. This is the only level of hell where 2 separate entities rule at the same time. Fernia and Belial. Both succubuses. Belial is the kind of head of the courts, and he is cold and calculating. And again, he's pretty much a god here. And then there's Fernia, who is either his daughter, his wife, his girlfriend, illegitimate daughter, or the daughter of the king of all hell, period. Nobody really knows, because everything's at the same time. Fernia runs the pleasure side. Both of them are pretty much gods at this point, and Quesnef is a mere 7 ranks down from these gods here. The specific city is called Abrimoch, which is spelled Abriymoh. It is a contradictory pleasure palace / center of the diabolical judicial system. Theaters, casinos, games, entertainment, diabolical courts. It is also the home of the pit fiend Graza, who is in charge of the police force of hell. Magma streets like Venice instead of water. A lot of soul processing goes here. It is also a place where demonic weapons are mined and hoarded. which is why they have so much money.
Oh boy.
So
There's a lot of shit here. Also, interesting, Terrence reads through something here that gives him a little bit of insight. One of the reasons that a lot of your attacks were not as effective as you wanted during that last Kuznetsov fight is that a weapon has to both be silvered and magical in order to do full damage to a devil. Any questions?
Do I see anything that might indicate like a hatchery or place to respawn?
Well, it seems Kuznetsov is pretty high ranked. One would assume he probably has his own means of respawning, or at least his own property.
Or his own little nest.
But you don't know where on the plane of existence it would be. Is everybody dying? Is this a good place to stop?
Yeah, probably.
Whatever.
Yeah. Poor Mike.
Sorry. I don't know why.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. You guys have got a lot of information. A lot of things are happening at the same time. You guys all kind of ponder on what steps to take next. If you're going to hell, there's going to be a lot of preparation involved.
Right.
You guys all kind of bed down in Mr. Bartleby's compound, and you are apprehensive to what's going to happen next. We'll catch up next week.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
Alright.
Bye, guys.
man.
Have a good